Oftentimes we use this time to talk about coverages and insurance coverages and exposures that certain industries may have uh, to loss within their businesses. Today, I actually wanted to take a minute and just discuss and talk a little bit about what has happened through COVID and how we see companies that may thrive at the end of this and what they're going to do in light of COVID and the changes that they had to make. So, even as we started this, many businesses were forced to adapt very, very quickly to a changing economy, a changing industry, a changing work experience, a changing client interaction. And so they were forced to go remotely. They were forced to put things in place that would allow them to have interactions with clients and staff via web meetings on Zoom or other platforms. And oftentimes, as they started it, we would constantly hear, man, I can't wait for things to get back to normal. Well, I think those that are going to succeed through this have realized that they can look at this as an opportunity. While going remote and putting up Zoom meetings and figuring out how to interact with clients and staff via the web was not necessarily the highest priority at the time COVID began, many businesses were forced to do it very quickly. So, what would have taken them 3, 5 years to put some things in place, maybe sometime shorter than that, took maybe 3, 5 weeks, maybe a month in some cases in order to get themselves squared away because they were forced to. And so there were hiccups along the way for many of these businesses. And as we've all experienced during this time of COVID, technology fails, our client interactions suffer at times. But we really need to see this as an opportunity. And those businesses who can adapt and begin to use this going forward are going to thrive as we come out of this. Whether we come out of this at the end of 2020, at the beginning of 2021, the end of 2021, whenever the time is that we start to work our way out of this, those businesses that have chosen to adapt and continue to move through these newfound technologies are going to be the ones that thrive over time. So, what I mean by that is now that we have this capability for Zoom, even when we can get back in to see our clients, what are we going to do? Are we going to continue to use Zoom or are we going to put it back on the back burner? How can we utilize this technology to enhance our face-to-face client interactions that we're now able to do again? Here at Karis, what we've looked at is, well, okay, some of our clients are now allowing us back in, and we can get in there and see those clients and do our insurance renewals, do our risk management plans with them. But we also need to be able to use the technology that we have now to continue to provide resources to clients. So now, instead of just seeing them once a year, we're able to record some things and provide them with some webinar type information so that they can specifically address some of the common exposures that we talked about at their pre-renewal or their renewal meeting. So that now we're able to be a resource for them and create essentially a content and resource library that they can come back to answer their own questions. Or from a benefits standpoint, they can go out and use an open enrollment meeting that was taped or recorded to provide that to their new employees as a way to explain the benefits plan so that the HR manager is not having to sit there and explain that whole thing. They can send that link to their employee first, and then if there are any questions after the employee watches the link, then they can be directed to the HR person or their benefits consultant. So these are the way we see these things happening. The challenge in this is to stay constant with it, to stay in front of it, and to continue to try and utilize it even when it becomes uncomfortable or is uncomfortable for some employees, because over time it can create a huge resource. In our industry, oftentimes people call insurance a necessary evil. So if that's the thought of the general public and the general consumer with regards to insurance, how are we as insurance agents, risk management professionals, and consultants able to provide our clients something outside of a piece of paper that they hope they never use? So because we've had to adapt to these technologies, we've really got a chance to be able to do those things on an annual basis now. Now what people should be expecting from their insurance agent or risk management consultant is not a phone call and maybe a once or twice a year visit, but rather content, ideas, help with policies and procedures, the ability to address certain exposures through content and answering questions and being able to provide resources to your clients via the web or via client portals that might be created, so that now your risk management consultant is a resource for you. They're an unpaid member of your team, meaning you don't pay them a salary. They make their money from the commissions or the fee that they're charging you, but you don't have the overhead cost associated with that person that you might, an employee that might help with those things. So really, I think what we need to do as insurance agents and brokers is to be able to change the way that people view their insurance agent. If you still look at your insurance as a necessary evil because you only see your agent or your consultant once or twice a year and they basically say, what has changed? Here's what your new premium is. Your expectations should change. Really, you should be expecting an interaction and constant interaction and a point of resource from those people now, because they have the ability to reach out to you and provide things for you in ways that they were not able to before. That's just really the tip of the iceberg on what it looks like from a content standpoint and from a resource standpoint and from a new look at what your risk management consultant or your insurance agency relationship should look like. If you're interested in hearing more about it, you can certainly check out our YouTube channel, or you can visit our website, www.carisins.com, or give us a call if you want to talk more about it. If we can answer any questions, be a resource or anything to you, you're welcome to again, visit our website, find our phone number there, or visit us on our YouTube channel. Until next time, thanks again for listening. This is Matt from Caris Insurance.